Good morning, my dear friends. It's finally Friday. And you cheated. You read the title. Yes. Disagreements are okay and healthy and good for our country and good for our neighbors like the United States. Yes. Disagree with me, disagree with your friends, disagree with the business down the road. Disagreement is good. It's vibrant. So let's get at this discussion. What brought this about? It's just I watch very little news. As y'all know, a year ago my son said, "Dad, you're too stressed. Why don't you stop watching the news?" So I did. But over the last couple of weeks, I've kind of dabbled back in there, and I don't like what I see. And I saw a little bit of an example of it yesterday in my video about legal weed. I want to thank you all. I like what I saw on my channel. It's not what I'm seeing in real life. I only had one person say, LPs are evil, stay away from them. Still, it was a statement, very well said, and that person believes it. I want to first attack the discussion that I knew would ensue, is because I know a lot of you that follow me don't believe in some of you that follow me don't believe in cannabis. Very few. Some of you that follow me don't believe in the legalized system that Canada has in place. I join you there. And some of you that follow me like the legal system and want it to flourish. And I see your point, and I'm kind of on, how can I be on the same seat but on two different horses? It's because I can accept the current state of affairs, knowing that they're not the greatest state of affairs, and hope for and see in indicators of change for the better. Now, what do I mean? What I mean is I agree the LP system in Canada is poor, and it has become known as government weed. And for years, that's exactly what it's been. Heavy, heavy rules of the government, big, thick thumbprint of the government on everything. And that's what's driven a lot of people away from that market. I'm one of them. Driven away from the market because of the heavy influence of our government, a government which I did not vote for, a government which I would not vote for. But let's go further. Now we're in a place where the provincial abilities, okay, for those of you in the US, it's federally legal, just like alcohol. But just like alcohol and tobacco, each province, or state as you might call it, has the ability to make decisions on distribution, on age limits, on access, on private versus government control, that kind of thing. And what has happened, at least in the West and at least in Alberta, I can only speak for my own home province. I try to learn what BC's doing. In Alberta, they have opened it up and allowed a lot of small industry, small growers to become licensed producers and supply to some of these stores. That's why there's another phase of store openings happening throughout our province, is because they've opened up access by not speeding up the creation of cannabis by the bigger LPs, but allowed more localized growing, purchasing, and distribution. Now, there's still a method where it all has to go through the Liquor Control Board of our province to get the final seal of approval, the stamp. I don't have them in front of me, but yeah, to get that final stamp. And that increases cost, and that decreases quality, takes longer for the cannabis to get to you, but things, as I say, are not perfect, but they're improving. And that's what my video was about. I will continue to dabble into the legal market, and I hope that one day a foray into the legal market would be the way to go. I don't want a system where this stuff that I partake in is forever on this fence of legal versus illegal. I want to get to a point where, and I do know that we will get there, on our current path, where anyone who wants to participate can and will, and those who don't can walk away. That's why we put it into stores, so that there isn't access on the street by someone that you don't know and don't trust. So are we there? We're not there. We're not there. That's what I reported on yesterday. That was close. That was nice, but it was still $44 for an eighth. That's really expensive, and that's the best they can do for now. If they get really good foot traffic, their prices will go down yet more. But what more is to come? Lots more to come. The more small LPs and small stores that open up, the more we have people advocating for a less government control, as well as our federal system may change within the next couple of months with an election just around the corner. And as conservatives take over, which I am almost betting on, we have a Liberal government that brought the legalization in. That was kind of needed, but now what's needed? A conservative government to come in and say, okay, it's here, maybe we didn't agree with it, but the ball is rolling, let's get in front of it and free up the space in front of that ball and let it roll a little more free. That's the conservative side of things. You can bet the conservative government that just took over in Alberta is already saying, let's get more mom and pop in there, let's get more commerce, let's get less government intervention. That's the conservative way. So they are trying to mitigate some of that, and over time, federally, I think that'll happen too, where they look at this system and say, it's got built-in deficiencies. It's got too many touch points between the store and the consumer. You know, you're sitting across from a person in a store wanting to buy, but all those things are in between you and that person, increasing the cost, decreasing the quality, decreasing your choice and your ability to make a choice, that kind of thing. So, do I agree with all the comments? I actually do, because those who say LPs suck, I agree. Those who say don't give the LPs any of your money, that's where I gotta disagree. I've got to dabble in once in a while, or I can't report to you how things are going. And remember, I'm medical. This was a recreational store. I'm reporting on recreational cannabis from a medical perspective. They have made no positive changes to the medical access for marijuana in years. And I'm hoping that soon there will be a difference, and that we will stop having to pay the taxes on it, and we will get access to different medicine, because definitely recreationally you don't need the same medicine. But all that takes time, patience, and voting. I, who don't usually vote, I've always said the system of voting is broken. I don't believe in our government. I don't believe in a liberal or a conservative government. I don't believe in government. I don't like government, but I live in a society that has one. So I accept that people make these choices. When my vote can or might count, such as bringing in a conservative government so that we can let private enterprise slowly take over the cannabis industry, then I'll do something I don't like doing. I'll vote. So that may happen. You may see the Hippie place his first political vote this fall. Let's wait and see what happens. Friends, I hope you've enjoyed. I hope you'll watch my previous video. I hope you'll watch this video. I hope you'll stay tuned. And remember, thumbs up, subscribe. Hit the old thumbs up, and little known facts. We had a good one yesterday, so yeah, we learned yesterday that more people die from swallowing a ballpoint pen than have ever died for cannabis, which is still 0. Antarctica is the only continent on Earth without reptiles or snakes. The only landmass, but it's the only landmass that has no land, that you cannot see the land. You can never see the land. The cruise liner Queen Elizabeth II moves only 6 inches for each gallon of fuel that it burns. That could bring a few comments. Friends, peace and cheers, love and harmony. Have a great weekend.